Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something really pressing, I think, for anyone running a school right now. These growing operational challenges. We're talking limited staff, workloads just piling up, keeping parents in the loop, and navigating all those regulations. Does that ring a bell for you?
Absolutely. From our work with schools at DreamClass, we see it constantly. Managers, administrators, they're really under pressure to, well, do more with less.
It's a huge strain.
It really is. And frankly, it's just not sustainable in the long run.
Which is exactly why we're so focused on this at DreamClass. We're really dedicated to helping schools tackle these specific hurdles, and we do that through, well, workflow automation. Think of it like giving your school this powerful engine running behind the scenes, streamlining things so you can focus on the education part.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And for this deep dive, our mission really is to unpack how these automation tools can be, well, more than just an upgrade. They're a fundamental shift. We want to show how they boost efficiency and ultimately make a school more competitive. We're talking directly to you, the managers and administrators, feeling that day-to-day pressure.
And it's not just the big schools, is it? We see this across the board. Small schools, those new micro schools popping up, even higher ed training colleges, they're all wrestling with similar things. Often it comes down to like fragmented systems that don't talk to each other.
Exactly. Or just relying too much on, paper.
All processes.
Yeah, paper trails everywhere. And maybe just not knowing how tech can actually solve these specific problems.
That reliance on manual ways of doing things is a critical point. What maybe worked 10 years ago, it just doesn't scale now.
No way.
Take student admissions. If you're juggling endless emails, copying data by hand into spreadsheets,
That's a potential for errors alone.
it's huge, and it just eats up so much time. Same goes for tracking attendance, managing grades, even just basic parent communication. It's inefficient, and honestly, it carries risk. Okay, so let's dig into that. What's the sort of core benefit? What does workflow automation actually do for school?
Well, at its heart, it's about centralizing things, creating a kind of operational hub. Imagine your key information flowing smoothly between systems.
Okay.
And those repetitive, everyday tasks, they just get handled automatically.
Like what kind of tasks?
Oh, things like sending reminder emails for, say, parent-teacher nights, or routing approval forms to the right person instantly. You could even get like a real-time dashboard showing where everything stands.
So instead of someone manually chasing down, I don't know, permission slips.
Exactly. The system does the nagging for you.
Nice.
And this automation, it has this ripple effect. You see way less operational friction, those daily snags that just slow everything down.
Frustrating stuff.
Very. And importantly, it acts like a safety net. Fewer things fall through the cracks. You get better visibility, more consistency. You're just much less likely to miss a deadline or make a costly typo.
And things change so fast in education, right? Schedules, curriculum updates.
Absolutely. And automation gives you that agility. You can adapt, make changes, collaborate quickly without creating this mountain of extra admin work each time. The system just adjusts.
Okay, this sounds powerful. Let's talk specifics then. What are the actual tools that make this happen? We've sort of grouped them into 5 key categories we see schools using effectively.
Right. First up are productivity suites. These are really your foundational digital tools.
Okay, so what falls into that?
The big 2 in education are Google Workspace for education and Microsoft 365 for education.
Got it. So Google Workspace first. Who tends to gravitate towards that?
We often see, say, private school admins, founders of micro schools.
Yeah.
They really like Google Workspace.
Why is that?
Well, it's got the tools people already know, right? Shared calendars, Google Docs for collaboration, classroom features, email. It's all integrated.
Familiar territory.
Exactly. And it's cloud-based, easy to access, and honestly, the learning curve is pretty gentle, even for folks who aren't super techy.
That makes a lot of sense, especially for smaller teams maybe. And Microsoft 365, who's that a better fit for?
Often higher ed directors or maybe founders setting up a slightly larger new private school, they might find Microsoft 365 more compelling.
What are the key features there?
You've got Microsoft Teams, which is huge for staff chat, meetings, collaboration, OneDrive for storage, and of course the classic Office apps, Word, Excel, PowerPoint.
The desktop powerhouses.
Right. And a big plus is how well it integrates with, larger enterprise systems. That's often crucial for bigger institutions with more complex IT setups.
Okay, clear difference there. Moving to category 2. Virtual meeting platforms. We've all gotten very familiar with these lately.
Haven't we just? Yeah, platforms like Zoom are pretty much everywhere now across all school types.
Use cases seem obvious. Parent conferences, online classes.
Staff meetings, yeah. The core uses are clear.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom's known for, stable video, being easy to jump into, and those breakout rooms are really useful for group work.
Definitely. And what about Google Meet or Microsoft Teams? Are they catching up in that space?
Well, if a school is already heavily invested in Google Workspace or Microsoft 365,
They might just stick within that ecosystem.
exactly. It makes sense. Fewer logins for staff, integrates right into their calendars, often tighter security within that single platform. So yeah, for a private school admin using Google heavily, Meet is natural. For a higher ed director deep in Microsoft, Teams is often the default. It streamlines things.
Got it. Category 3, learning management systems. LMS. These sound very education specific.
They absolutely are. Think Moodle, Canvas.
Yeah.
These are workhorses, especially in higher education.
Right.
But we're seeing more private school admins and new school founders looking at them too, especially if they have strong online or hybrid component.
And what do they do exactly?
They're built for managing the learning process online, building courses, tracking student progress really granularly, handling grades, running online quizzes and assessments.
So supporting different learning styles.
Both asynchronous, letting students work at their own pace, and synchronous, like live online classes. Plus, they often have tools built in to help schools meet compliance standards.
Okay. Next up, category 4, forms and survey tools. These feel like they could be useful pretty much anywhere.
Oh, definitely. Tools like Google Forms, JotForm, they're super versatile. We see all kinds of schools using them, especially smaller ones needing quick, easy solutions.
For what kind of things? Enrollment.
Enrollment, yeah. Collecting parent feedback, student surveys, quick quizzes, even just registering people for school events or clubs.
And the benefit is mainly ease of use.
Ease of use is huge. You can whip up a form really quickly. The data often goes straight into a spreadsheet automatically, which is great.
No more manual data entry from paper forms.
Exactly. And they usually have templates you can customize. Gets you started fast.
Okay, last category, document management systems. This sounds a bit more heavy duty, maybe for larger places dealing with tons of paperwork.
You're right, that's often the case. Systems like Laserfiche or RJ Young, you tend to see those more in higher ed or bigger K-12 districts, places with significant compliance needs.
And what's the core function? Just storing documents?
It's more than storage. It's about centralized digital record keeping, but also automating approval workflows, think routing contracts or policy documents, and secure digital archiving.
Ah, okay. So reducing the paper mountain?
Dramatically.
Yeah.
And it makes things like audits much easier because records are organized and accessible, plus it seriously boosts data security and privacy controls.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of different tools. So if you're a school manager listening to this, how do you figure out which combination is the right strategic fit for your school?
That really is the key question, isn't it? And it depends heavily on the school's specific context. But based on what we see working with schools, for, say, a typical private school admin where ease of use, cost effectiveness, and good parent communication are top priorities, we often find Google Workspace is a great starting point. Maybe pair that with Zoom for meetings and Google Forms for that quick data gathering. It's a really solid, user-friendly combo.
Right. And what about, say, a higher ed director? Their needs are probably different.
Very different, usually. They're thinking about scale handling lots of students, integrating with complex university systems, and serious compliance needs.
So what works there?
Often, it's the Microsoft Suite, Microsoft 365, Teams for that robust communication, maybe a powerful LMS like Canvas, and potentially a dedicated document management system like Laserfiche for those compliance and record-keeping demands.
Makes sense. What about those really nimble microschool founders, often working with tight budgets and maybe no IT department?
Yeah, for them, it's usually about low cost, getting set up fast, and things being super user-friendly.
So similar to the private school admin, maybe?
Often, yes.
Yeah.
Google Workspace and Zoom are frequently the foundation, and maybe something like JotForm because it's so flexible and easy for creating all sorts of forms without needing technical help.
Okay. And one more scenario. Someone launching a brand new private school from scratch, building everything up.
That's an interesting one. Getting those core workflows right from day one is crucial.
What would you suggest there?
You could start quite simply. Maybe Google Forms for initial data like inquiries or applications. Then perhaps Microsoft 365 for the core productivity and communication backbone. And maybe dip a toe into the LMS world with something relatively user-friendly like Moodle to start building out any online learning aspects. It gives a solid, scalable base.
Okay, so we've covered the what the tools and the who, which tools fit which schools. Let's bring it back home to the why. How does actually using these tools translate into better efficiency and, helping a school compete?
Right, the tangible benefits. Well, the most immediate one people notice is just saving time, cutting down hours spent on those repetitive admin tasks.
And that time saved means?
It means staff can focus on more important things, supporting students, curriculum development, strategic planning, instead of just chasing paperwork or fixing data entry errors.
Yeah, freeing up people for higher value work. I imagine accuracy gets a boost too.
Oh, absolutely. When you automate data entry and reporting, you slash the risk of human error in student records, financial data, compliance reports, everything.
Which leads to better decisions, presumably.
Definitely. You're working with more reliable data. Plus, think about communication.
How does automation help there?
It can make it so much smoother. Automated updates to parents, streamlined internal chat using Teams or Meet, easy feedback collection via forms. Everyone stays better informed with less manual effort from the school staff.
And what about growth? If a school wants to expand, can automation help manage that?
That's a huge advantage. By making operations more efficient, schools can often handle more students, more programs, without needing to hire a proportional number of new admin staff.
So scaling smarter.
Exactly. It creates real operational efficiencies and saves costs in the long run. Money you can then put back into the educational side.
And thinking about how schools position themselves, does using this tech give them an edge, make them look more modern?
I really think it does. When prospective parents see seamless online enrollment, easy access to digital resources for their kids, quick communication, it paints a picture of a well-run, forward-thinking school.
Yeah, that first impression matters.
It definitely contributes to that positive perception and can be a real competitive differentiator.
This has been incredibly insightful. It really drives home that workflow automation isn't just, a tech gadget. It feels more like a fundamental strategic shift.
It truly is. For school leaders feeling that constant pressure of doing more with less, these tools offer a practical way forward, a path to being more efficient, getting better outcomes, and just having a more sustainable operation.
Right. By implementing this kind of education workflow automation strategically, administrators get some breathing room, teachers can focus more on teaching.
And parents feel more connected and informed. It's a win-win-win. And maybe the biggest point is, it lets schools scale their impacts without necessarily needing to scale their headcount or physical footprint in the same way. It's about using tech to work smarter.
So a final thought then, for all the school managers and administrators listening, maybe take a moment, think about your own school. Where are those manual processes creating the biggest headaches?
Yeah, where is your team spending the most time on stuff that feels repetitive, administrative?
Could automation, strategically applied right there, be the key? The key to unlocking more efficiency, freeing up those valuable resources, and ultimately giving your school that competitive advantage everyone's looking for.
It's definitely something worth exploring seriously.